Alright, welcome back to a Strixhaven draft on MTG Arena. We're going to be doing a premier draft. There's a lot of different options available on Arena right now. Cube, Jumpstart, Theros Beyond Death, but I'm enjoying Strixhaven, so I'm just going to keep going with that. Hopefully there are enough other people enjoying it that we can get a good draft in. Alright, looks like. Okay, what have we got here? We got a rare dual land, doesn't do much. Igneous Inspiration is excellent, probably what I'm going to want to take. Shadewing Laureate and Zimone are good in their respective decks, but it does put us into more specific decks. I love Hunt for Specimens in any black deck, and Professor of Zoomancy in any green deck. There's actually a lot of good picks here. I don't think any of them quite measure up to Igneous Inspiration because it's a 2-for-1. Kills a thing and draws you a lesson. Our lesson is Introduction to Annihilation, which is one we don't mind having access to, but not one that's worth first picking. So just going to go with the Inspiration here. All right. In contrast, this pack doesn't have a ton of awesome cards. The main thing that I'm looking at is Closing Statement. It doesn't necessarily go with Igneous Inspiration, but I could splash. I think I like that. These commons are all playable, but not exciting. Just nothing that we really want to take in red. So, yeah, let's just take Closing Statement. Maybe we'll pivot to Silverquill. Maybe we'll just splash. Grinning Ignis is awesome if you're trying to get those big Prismari spells, which we haven't seen any of yet. Return Past Caller is pretty good, although slow. People seem to like Mage Hunter. I haven't really played it. It's certainly better in an aggressive deck. So I think we're between the Mage Hunter and the Returned Past Caller. We could try the Mage Hunter, try to get aggressive. Plum is pretty good in Witherbloom because you have a bunch of creatures to sacrifice. Blood Researcher is also decent in Witherbloom if you're able to gain a bunch of life, but it is kind of like Quandrix's Apprentice, but slower. So, I haven't been as impressed with it as I originally thought I would be. But once again, there's nothing that's really excellent here. I guess if we just wanted to like hard commit to Silverquill, we could take Star Pupil. That seems a bit premature. Could be Ephemerate for a protection spell. Yeah, that might be worthwhile. Although it doesn't protect tokens, because obviously if they're going to kill your token and you exile it, doesn't quite do the job you're setting out to do. All right, so now there's Pest Summoning, which has probably been the least impressive of the summonings, in my opinion, but still worth playing. So it could mean that Witherbloom is open. Another Blood Researcher. We could try to wheel the first one. And what are we missing? Sorry about that. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, I guess we could just take the Pest Summoning. It'll be good in green or in black, and maybe we can wheel some of the other Witherbloom stuff. Although, there's a Shadewing Laureate, and we might wheel another Shadewing Laureate. So, I think it might be prudent for us to just try and go into Silverquill Flyers. And Spectre of the Fens is definitely a decent finisher for that deck. It's an okay flying body with a very must-answer effect. So we're going to go with that. Leech Fanatic is nothing special, but deck needs 2-drops, so... Alright. We did not wheel Shadewing Laureate, and we did wheel Professor of Zoomancy. That's kind of a sign. I guess we could take Outland Shield Mage if we're going to try and commit, or we could take Intro to Annihilation if we want to do the opposite. I'm just going to take the best card. I think it's still possible that we play green. We're not really hard committed to a second color. We have a lot of black, but we may not even be hard committed to a first color. I think it's really important to find the open lane, especially in like a faction set like this, because you don't want to be fighting too many people for that faction. Although there are some decks that can exist outside of the normal factions, I know that some streamers have really been liking forcing blue-black with a bunch of black removal, and then for blue you have Serpentine Curve, and you just get massive fractals. Okay, this was the pack that was pretty lackluster. I think we take the Spiteful Squad. Okay. I don't think we're playing any of these, but I guess I'll take the Ignis on the off chance that we do change to Prismari. Letter of Acceptance isn't bad, and when we're not sure of our colors, maybe that'll be worth playing. Okay. Okay, there are a lot of blue cards coming late, but that's just because they aren't very good. So that doesn't necessarily mean that blue's open. Okay, we have Heated Debate here, but red was very not open. We first picked a red card, and we didn't see anything worth taking after that. So I don't know that I really want to take Heated Debate, although it might be more open from this direction. If we want to keep going Silverquill, we probably want the Pledge Mage, or potentially Defiant Strike. There is another Silverquill Drafter, but I think we just try and stick with this because that's what seemed most open. Okay, we have an Elemental Summoning. That's not our colors. Another Heated Debate. Flunk. Okay, this pack has a lot of good cards. I'm kind of wishing I'd gone red, but it was not open. All right, I'll take the Flunk. I will hope to wheel a Pledge Mage or a Pledge Mage, I guess. That's probably right. Ooh, okay, so we got Bookworm, we got Environmental Sciences, we got Eye Twitch, Tenured Inkcaster, Cram Session. There's a lot of decent cards for us here. Okay, so if we're planning to splash at all, Environmental Sciences is pretty good. That said, the main card we would be splashing for is Igneous Inspiration, which is the card that lets us learn. We don't really have Learn otherwise, so I don't think that's actually worth taking in this circumstance. I think we really want the Eye Twitch. It's a 1-drop flyer, and it is a Learn card. So, well, we don't have a lot of lessons. That's probably what we're looking for. Tenured Inkcaster might be good, but we're more focused on the flying aspect than the +1/+1 counter aspect of Silverquill. We have another Environmental Sciences, the other +1 counter Lord, and a second copy of Spectre of the Fens. Any of these could be reasonable. I don't think Dueling Coach is going to be as good for us as Spectre of the Fens, so the question is just, do we want Environmental Sciences? I know people are like first picking this. It's a really good card to have. It makes splashing a breeze, but I don't know that we need to splash. I might just want to focus on our deck. It seems open. Plum? Could be Plum. There's nothing here that's super exciting. We could just go with a Witherbloom Pledge Mage, which isn't bad. I really don't care too much for Exhilarating Elocution, although we are in the kind of deck that would want it. But if we do want it, I'm sure we'll find one later. So I guess Plum would let us get Eye Twitch, or would let us sacrifice Eye Twitch to learn, rather. Wow, I got a lot of packs stacked up on me. I'm being the slow one. Okay. Pilgrim of the Ages is real good. But it's better for if you're going late game, which I guess my Spectres let me do, and they give me more mana. So that's fine. All right, here we go. We got a second copy of Silverquill Pledge Mage. That will ensure that our cheap spells like Flunk or Plumb the Forbidden allow us to get in some damage. Yeah, there's another Exhilarating Elocution. Novice Dissector. Fractal Summoning is good, just not for this deck. Okay. I don't think I'm going to play a Dissector. I might play Exhilarating Elocution, so. Well, I'm not going to main deck a Fracture, but it is in my colors. Archivist isn't bad. We did wheel an Inkcaster, which might be okay, especially if we can get a expanded anatomy. Could make our flyers big and also drain them with the Inkcaster. That's unlikely to be played. We're just trying to get aggressive in here, so I don't really want to play that. Here, there's nothing for me. Man, maybe Quandrix is open, but I don't know. There's been nothing that's glaringly open, so it's been a little hard to find the open lane, but I think we're okay. Interesting. Here we have two good pickups for our deck. We have Silverquill Command, which can buff a creature and give it flying, can reanimate a small creature, can let me draw a card and lose a life, and it can make an opponent sack a creature. So I'll probably take that over Shadewing Laureate, although I do really like the idea of just being more consistent in my Flyers theme. I'm going to hope to wheel it, although I did not wheel the other one from pack 1, so might be bad. Strict Proctor. Do I have a bunch of Enter the Battlefield effects? I have one. 2. So, not really. I meant to highlight that. Didn't need to take it, but it's fine. I probably would have gone with it. Okay, Study Break. That's the sort of card we're looking for. That, or I guess Inquisition, could help us stem any responses they have to our aggression. Although I don't think we're being as aggressive as I was originally expecting. Interesting. There's another Study Break, but I think I just want Inkling Summoning. Although I only have 2 Learn cards. So it's not going to be as consistently good. But that's fine. I currently don't have really any lessons worth getting, because my other one is Pest Summoning, which isn't really for this deck. Plumb the Forbidden is not preferable to play here. Don't know about that one. Okay, we got another Shadewing Laureate or Guiding Voice. I think I want to go with the Laureate, although I would love to have that Guiding Voice. I don't have a lot of creatures to put counters on at the low end. Another option is Lorehold Pledge Mage, which just doesn't work with our theme. We're trying to fly over the opponents. Keyword trying. +1/+1 Vigilance and Trample. Well, that's not very good if we're already flying. The Trample's sort of meant to be evasion, and we don't really have any tokens to make it a cheap equip. So that means there's really not much here. Now we're getting a late shock, so maybe red was open and there just weren't any good cards open for it. I don't know. I guess I could potentially play Defend the Campus. That's about it. So sometimes you get really open archetypes handed to you, and sometimes you have to work a little more for it. Like, look at this. Lorehold did not seem that open in packs 1 and 2. But Spirit Summoning is a mono-white card, if we need it to be. Oh, or we could try getting in some draw with Crushing Disappointment, or more removal with Divine Gambit. This is definitely a late game-centric card, so are we trying to get to the late game? Maybe? I think we're trying to play a blend. I guess I took too long, but that's fine. That's probably the card that I wanted. Killian's excellent. We don't need another Spirit Summoning when we barely have any Learn cards in the first place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to find out if our Shadewing Laureate wheeled. It did not. That is unfortunate, but Make Your Mark is not a bad consolation prize. There's another Spiteful Squad, but we're kind of overloaded on 4 drops. We have... I don't really like Promising Dusk Mage, though, and that's really the only other playable. Well, I guess I'll take one now, just in case. Wow, we wield Study Break. Okay, I can live with that. It's not as good in a Flyers deck, because if your opponent doesn't have Flyers, you don't really need to tap stuff down. But it is still going to help stem some aggression from them, and let us learn for our Spirit or Inkling Summoning. Okay, so on second thought, I think red was pretty open. It was just that there weren't any good cards for it, or many good cards for it in the first couple of packs. And that's always hard to tell. So, let's see. What are we doing? We didn't get... I don't know even know if we saw any Silverquill campuses, so our mana is very basic. Do we need Ephemerate for protection? Well, it is 2 instances of Magecraft for 1 spell. It's just kind of a protection spell. But if we don't care too much about any one particular of our creatures, we don't really need to protect it. So maybe that's not as helpful, because we don't really have any creatures that are just really important to keep out. I mean, late game we want these Specters of the Fens, but that's about it. At the low end we have 1 1-drop and 3 2-drop creatures, and that's it. So I think we should include all of those. We're at 41 cards, so we need to cut 1 more. We need to double check that we are not cutting anything we want. This is probably fine. Probably cut the Dusk Mage. We have enough other 3-drops. Lorehold Pledge Mage is harder to cast, but I do think it's probably more helpful in the deck than the Dusk Mage, which we only have 2 cards that can put counters on. I guess we have 3. 4? Okay, maybe I'm convincing myself that it's better than the Pledge Mage. Although Pledge Mage is a bit more aggressive, but we're trying to strike a balance between the two. Let's try this. I don't know why it keeps telling me that my deck is Wooburg. It's not. It's not like I have all 5 colors using hybrid cards in there. which you would think is one option, but no, that's not what it is. All right, our first opponent is Arseny. We go first, and I guess we keep. If we draw one card or one land, we can get the Pledge Mage down. We do have one removal spell, and if they play a creature, we could theoretically rummage with Learn. I guess that would be a reason to have taken Environmental Sciences, is not even if you need to splash, but just it lets you keep those 2 land hands, assuming you have a Learn spell. But I'm just going to bank on being able to draw a land in the first few turns. Our opponent double queuing over there. We'll give him one of the Your Goes. That always helps speed things along. Maybe we'll get a win by default. Let's move this over here so you can see my cards and stuff in case that's relevant. Okay, they finally decided that they were willing to keep their hand. I'm glad that worked out for them. Okay. Tap up to 2. Okay, we actually don't even need a creature for this. We could just rummage, but it's really not worth playing. Just losing ourselves a card. So please be a land. Okay. Well, maybe we will play a study break just to rummage. In that case, what do we discard? I don't think it's worthwhile. There we go. Now we can play a Pledge Mage, and now we have some spells to make that Pledge Mage valuable. Of course, they ramped, so who knows? They may have something pretty scary. But I got the removal. Okay. Play my land first. Go to attack. Okay, I'll attack. All right, and we will drop. We'll drop the Mage Hunter. I'm surprised they haven't played anything, so they might have a counter spell. Interesting, Eureka moment. So they're just ramping. Okay. They are not far off from a Bookworm, which would definitely cramp our style. Haha, take your damage. Yeah, so this is very much a ramp deck. So we got to just try and hit them hard. So do I study break those? That would leave me unable to play Spiteful Squad. I would like to add to the board, but if I study break, I can hit them hard. And I think that's what I want to do. Lifelink, they're not going to have any blockers, so I don't need flying. Then I'll go, oh yeah, I can play Inkling Summoning instead. Yeah, just keep the aggression on. Ooh, you can gain lifelink again. Because I have another study break, I can tap these down again, so if they play like a big creature, like a bookworm, I can use the study break on the small guys. No, I guess I can use the... I guess I'll use the study break on one of the small guys and the big guy. And then I'll just let them block with one pest. Although, yeah, any spell I cast... Oh, okay. Any spell I cast can give this flying, which they don't have a blocker for, so... Sure? That was probably not a good call for them. Alright, they still have 6 cards in hand, so this could still only kill a 1/1. Which is not excellent. I could just play Closing Statement, kill one of these, but that doesn't let Mage Hunter get in, so I should study break those two? If I study break those two... Yeah, sure. I'll go with Spirit Summoning. Now, I kill this, they gain a life, and then I hit them for 8. But that does leave them unable to cast spells. So that's probably worthwhile. Okay. So they weren't actually dead there, but I did hit them hard enough that they wouldn't have been able to cast any spells, and they didn't have any flyers, so they probably would have been dead next turn. All right. See, look at this. Wooburg. Let's take a look at what's in my deck, shall we? We got a red-white card. And that's it. We got white, black, and I guess red, but there's no black or green anywhere to be found. So I don't know, man. I don't know. All right. I got 3-drop, 4-drop, 3 lands. Lands and spells. Keepable hand. All right. They will have some flyers. Ooh. Looks like we got ourselves a mirror match. Sure. So which flyer do I start with? Or which 3-drop do I start with? I think I do start with the flyer, because that forces them to equip the boots, or just let me hit them. Okay. Oh, sure. So they do get to loot, but they didn't add to the board this turn. I have 2 study breaks again, I think. I'm definitely going to attack. I think I start with a Spiteful Squad. Deals about as much damage right now as the Spectre does. Okay, I see how it is. Combat Professor, that's a great card that we didn't even see. Okay, so we could tap those 2 down, I guess. Get in for 4. Then what are we doing with the rest of our mana? Pilgrim? We could play Strict Proctor. We could just let them block our Spiteful Squad. I think that's best. because they're not gonna. Now I can play Pilgrim of the Ages to find our planes. And end step, we will tap down their... actually, before combat, we'll tap down their creatures. So we'll get to take away one of their attack turns and one of their defense turns. Flyers. I guess flyers are a little less good when they only have flyers. So maybe I should have gone with the 3/2. Okay, that's a Mage Hunter. Not ideal. Shadewing Laureate doesn't really want to block, so it can attack. Do I just play more creatures? Yeah, I think I'm just going to drop my whole board. Then I can start draining them with Spectre of the Fens. I don't really have great blocks on the flyers, but I guess I have good blocks on one of them. I could double block here, kill it, but then I would lose my Spectre, and I don't want that. Now, notably, I do lose 1 life for every spell that I play, so I need to keep that in mind. Flunk. Okay, Flunk is currently at 5/5, so I could use that. Even if they draw a card, it'll be big enough to kill anything they have, so I can just hold it up. I think I just don't do anything. I play a Plains, and I hold up Spectre activation. I'm winning this race right now, so it's incumbent on them to do something. I don't think I block. I could block with the Strict Proctor and put a counter on Spectre of the Fens, but if they have removal for it, it's just like throwing away a creature for no value. Now, notably, they are drawing into a better hand. Okay, who do I want to flunk? Probably a flyer. Combat Professor, maybe? Or I could just drain him. That's probably better. Ooh! That's a 4/5 reach. Doesn't let me do anything else this turn, but that's probably fine. So now they have to answer it. Of course, if they can, I might be in a bit of a bad spot. There it is. I worry they have a combat trick, but if they do, I still get a counter on something. I once again don't want to risk my Spectre of the Fens. Ideally, I will draw a land so that I can activate Spectre and cast a spell. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. Yeah, so once again, I'm just waiting. Okay. I don't like the way they're looking at my Spectre. Sure. Hmm. 2/4? Yeah, let's put it on the 2/4. That lets me block pretty effectively. I don't like that. But I do have a Study Break available. so that's probably fine. Don't think the pests are going to be of much use here. Okay, I need to flunk something. Mage Hunter's making it hard to cast spells, but their flyers are kind of a problem. I have more flyers. Just flunk that bad boy. I can attack in with Pilgrim of the Ages. And if it dies, who cares? Yeah, I think about the eye twitch. Perhaps I should have anticipated that. Fortunately, I can make some stuff big. Question is what? I think this needs 3 power, so it can block the Promising Dusk Mage. No, I'll need 4 power for that. I guess I could trade off. Yeah. Alright, we're getting there. Slowly but surely. This is a close game. Oh, I guess our... No, Pest Summoning isn't in the deck. So that wouldn't be why it's green. I don't know. Alright, I'm going to attempt to block. See what happens. Okay. Finally kill that pesky Dusk Mage. And we'll put this counter on here, which puts it out of range of one of their creatures. And if it dies, lets me put counters elsewhere. Ooh, that's not ideal. Okay, okay. Oh, that is an excellent draw. This lets me just swing all out without thinking about it. Because before they can make some profitable blocks, but now my creatures are gonna trade off and leave me with more creatures. Well, currently they're losing, so I don't have to do anything. I could just wait for them to do something. Okay, so they're going to give that +1/+0. They're going to exile that. So I can't kill them by using Make Your Mark on one of my pests. So I will put it on Pilgrim of the Ages, which will kill their Combat Professor. I'm not going to have enough to replay that yet, so no big deal. Oh. Are they just desperately looking for something? Excellent. Okay, that was a real close game. That was interesting. And my friend was trying to tell me how bad Make Your Mark was. And I was like, I don't know what game you're playing. I understand it's not like a first pick. but any deck that can play it probably wants a copy. And if you're a Lorehold aggro deck, or even a Silverquill aggro deck, you want several copies. It just lets you keep on the aggression. It's like a 1-mana 3/2 that also helps your small guys trade up. So, really good in the right situation, and generally useful. Okay, we are playing against Nipple Rings. We got a 1-drop, a 3-drop, and a 6-drop. Just the way I like it. I twitch. Gonna hold full control so they think I have something. Okay, I definitely attack. And I guess play the flyer. Okay, so I think they're going to try to race us. And I think we're going to try to race them. That'll help. That'll help a lot. But what'll also help is this Mage Hunter. It's like reverse Magecraft. If they want to grow their Quandrix Pledge Mage, they're going to have to pay through the nose. They're probably just going to start by, killing that guy. But whatever. They had to pay a life to do it. And they had to tap their creature land so they couldn't attack with it. Excellent. I'm going to be able to play this and Study Break. Keep the pressure on. Oh, they also missed a land. Okay, I'll probably have to Study Break that. Lets them learn, but I really don't want them to be able to block my flyers. And I can grab another flyer with my own learn. Okay, they grabbed Environmental Sciences. That makes sense when they're missing land drops. Oh, excellent. That was a good draw. Okay, I can attack all. Pilgrim gives me the 6th land I need to also be able to play Inkling Summoning. And the next turn I can play Cogwork Archivist. Oh! And they concede. Excellent. Sometimes, even if your deck has no particular bombs, if you can just get aggro enough, you can win. We missed turn 2, but we played 1-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, and it was just hard for them to come back from that. So, just remember, if you're having trouble finding bombs, just try and hit your curve. This is, as ever, kind of a slow and not particularly exciting hand, but we do have removal. We do have some mid-game, some top-end. We got a bit of everything. We're the jack of all trades. And we drew some very late game. All right. I guess I could have flunked. I can still flunk Stonerise Spirit, but I don't think I care about it that much. I want to see what else they play. Do I care about that? Seems like they're trying to get aggressive. I'm just going to do it. I think I'll offer the trade, even though I don't really want to trade. If they do, then I just put out Spectre and I'm ahead of them on board. And if they don't, I might put out Spiteful Squad instead to have a decent blocker and a creature to put the counters on if it dies. That makes sense. But there's also so many combat tricks in this set, they might just be too scared to block, which would be reasonable. Alright, they took it, so I will put out the Spiteful Squad. Now, they can fly over the squad, but they'd have to spend a lot of mana to do so. Ooh, okay. I'm going to be honest, I do not care for that. Wow. That was quite the turn. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like I'm attacking, so I'm just going to put out... I actually don't want to put out Spectre, because then they'll use the Annihilation on it. So I'm going to put out another Pledge Mage. And look, I got 2 mana up. I could definitely give these flying at instant speed, so they got to be wary. Okay. Now they remove this one, I assume. Fair enough. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Ooh, now I could drop Killian plus Spectre or just Cogwork Archivist. I'm having trouble saying that. Cogwork Archivist. There we go, I did it. I kind of like getting Killian going. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Archivist. It's just big. They just use their removal, so they probably can't deal with it. Stonewalls them because it has reach. Okay. Seems like they have... I was going to say they're flooding, but they only have 1 more land than we do, so maybe we're flooding. That's a little scary, but not that scary because I will, yeah, just eat one of their creatures. Okay. Pilgrim Plains Spectre? Yeah. Just a creature that I don't mind dying. So it's an effective blocker. I put out another flyer. And pass to you. So now I'm winning on board because they can't attack into me very effectively, and I can start draining them for 2 every turn. I can even do that while still playing Killian next turn. Oh boy. So I could reanimate a small guy. I don't have a small guy. I could make them sack a creature. It's not. This isn't very helpful just yet, so I'm going to wait on this. In fact, I'm going to wait on everything. I also can't attack very effectively into them, but I don't need to. Also, I'm pretty happy with my flunk decision earlier. Yes, I just killed a doofy 2/3, but they haven't played much. Choose a creature or planeswalker, then destroy all others. I did consider that they might have this. Interesting. Yeah, okay, they're going to choose their Stonerise Spirit, I assume, but that's going to leave them with 1 creature, which means I can force them to sacrifice it. I forgot that I was supposed to drain them in response, but now I can just bring back Pilgrim. Then I could return Killian or draw a card. What's better? Probably getting some aggro. We'll play Killian. Okay. Return and sacrifice. They had a good play, but I had good counterplay. All right. They do have a campus, which I don't. There it is. Okay, they did not find what they wanted. Of course, I didn't either. But I am winning on board, so. And I do have a second Spectre, which could turn all this mana into some pretty good stuff. Okay, they found something on top, so next turn I need to be a little scared. It's unlikely they have another board wipe, so I'm just going to commit. If that's what they found, I'm not too scared. There it is. They needed any creature because they had drawn the Essence Infusion. Got it. Okay. Well, they still can only block Pilgrim. I could just not attack with Pilgrim, but this is fine. Now they can't play any spells, instants or sorceries, rather. I've got a flyer. If I'd done this in a different order, I could have actually played the Pilgrim, but I still won. Another close game. Okay, so we are 3-0 with our very mediocre 4-0 with our mediocre Silverquill deck, so not bad. It's interesting how sometimes, you know, I build decks that I think are incredible and just get destroyed. And then sometimes, you know, you build just cards and you can get there. So all right, we are getting aggressive today. Do we lead with the Pledge? I'm going to lead with the Pledge Mage. Hopefully I will draw a spell so I can give it some abilities, but if not, nice. And this ended up well because now I can hit them for 1 more damage than I would have been able to. I'm just going to keep playing on curve. Okay, what 1-mana spells could they have? I don't think there's anything that gives reach. So they could have Make Your Mark, and I don't really want to run into Make Your Mark. So I think I will hold back with the Pledge Mage. Or they could have had Professor's Warning, which also wouldn't have been awesome. When I'm in an aggressive position, I don't want them to be able to trade 1 mana for one of my creatures. I want them to have to pay as much mana as possible. Okay. I don't have any spells, so I can't jump the Pledge Mage, so I'm just going to attack the Spectre. I could start draining them, but I would rather just drop my hand. And then if I draw spells, great. I can play those. If I don't, I can start draining them with Spectre of the Fens. Well, if I kill their creature, I can start attacking in on the ground, maybe? I don't think that's worthwhile. I just want to... There we go. Study Break. Okay, so we Study Break to tap down. Or do we Study Break on their turn? No, I think we do it now. I think we just want to get as aggressive as possible. All right, now we will leave them with their Reflective Golem. Unfortunately, I did not get an Expanded Anatomy. If I did, I would have been able to make Leech Fanatic big enough to survive the golem. But as is, if I attack with everything, then they just kill this. They're taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then they can't cast any instants or sorceries. But if they block something bigger... whatever. I think I'll throw this away to put them on 1 life. That seems okay. That seems like a poor choice. They took 1 damage to cast that spell, which let them block 1 more damage. I guess it also made their creature permanently bigger, but they could have killed my creature. So, poor choice from them, I think. And if they'd saved it till this turn, they could... No, they couldn't copy it, because my Mage Hunter would have killed them, so never mind. Ooh. This will let them drain me and go back up to 2 or 3 life, depending on if they attack with 1 or both of their counter creatures. Oh! I don't know if they forgot. They were probably dead anyway, because even if they attacked, that just left them open to a big swing back. But they went out on their own terms. They died as they lived. All right, 5-0. I go first. Oof. I'm not going to be playing on curve here, but lands and spells. I really don't think you want a mulligan if you can avoid it. So, at least in limited. In constructed, oof. I do not mulligan enough. We are fighting El Tiburon. I don't remember what that means. Let me see. Tiburon. Is it a shark? Maybe? Yeah, it looks like it's a shark. All right. We are playing against the shark. Okay. We are just doing nothing. We got a wall of 4-drops. That's what we got. Oh, they did not play a land, so we need to get aggressive. Unfortunately, no matter how much mana we spend, we get 2 power. And they had a reject, so that's fine. Ooh, Mage Hunter should be pretty effective against them. They are blue-red, and therefore I assume they have lots of spells. That's a hard no. Okay, what could they have? They could have Burying Books. I'm okay if they cast Burying Books. Can't think of any other reason not to attack. Take Spiteful Squad. Maybe I should have played another flyer, because if they're stuck on land, that means they've probably got a bunch of scary stuff in hand. As it turns out, it doesn't really matter what I played. And in fact, if that's the worst creature I had, it is kind of nice that that's the one that they countered. Seems like they are they have a lot of counter spells, so I should just... Ooh! How about this? I attack them. They cast a spell on their Historian to let it block. Big scary Mage Hunter. And then I flunk it. I don't like that. I guess that's fine. I was thinking it was a pump spell, but now I'm thinking it's a damage spell. Oh. That's what they chose to do. Okay. I mean, it does slow down my roll a little, but... And it does get them a land, so that's... I guess. But they could have done it before their Historian died. I guess I wasn't tapped out then, so I could have had anything. Okay, they are being a little rude. I should probably play these two. Yes. It's a little bit more aggressive. I guess Mage Hunter could have helped because they're playing probably a couple of spells this turn, but I don't know. This was more mana efficient, so I don't know. Okay, do I flunk that? I probably study break that. I guess if I'm tapping it, I don't need flying. I'll take an Inkling Summoning. Then we'll put out the Mage Hunter. Oh. They put Cody in a deck with at least 2 counter spells. That's bold. It's very bold. Cody doesn't have reach or anything, does he? Nope. So I'm just going to give my Pledge Mage flying. Attack for 5 in the air. And I guess I could Closing Statement Cody. It's probably for the best. It's one target creature you control. We'll put it on this one, because it's a flyer. Yeah, see, that's what I was afraid of. They could have played that next turn, and then, assuming they drew a land, they could have played it and then cascaded, and they did! Smart. All right. Okay, we got 1 more win to go, or 3 more losses. All right, we are playing against NJKO21. Excuse me? We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 curve going on here? Assuming they play a creature. Oh boy, I just got mana tithed. Okay, I see how it is. I don't think I've played against a mana tithe in this format yet. It's not a bad card. It's just a situational one, which can make it problematic sometimes. Okay, so they just definitely completely shut down my aggression. Oh boy. What do I want to do about that? I guess I wait? I don't know that I think Stonerise Spirit is worth using a closing statement on. But I do kind of... maybe it is. I still have Flunk. Yeah, maybe I will. Because it's going to make iTwitch an actual threat. It's going to let me start getting in for 2 damage every turn. So they'll have to respond to that. And I do still have a different removal spell. And there's no guarantee I get to play any spells next turn anyway. So I would just be in a worse position. Ooh, okay. That was a decent draw. Attack with iTwitch. Drop the Laureate. That makes sense. I really wish that they had tried to lash my iTwitch, but it was not to be. Okay, so they got the cheap removal. They can mitigate everything I'm trying to do. So, question. Oh boy, that's a problem. Do not like that. I mean, they could equip that next turn, and I would not love it. But I think I would need to let it happen, because I just need to play my Spectre of the Fens. Then the turn after, I can flunk whatever Poet's Quill is on. Hopefully they'll just go to play the Inkling. Because that'll let their Eager Firster get through for damage, unless I want to trade my Spectre, which I don't. Okay. I'm going to tell you what. I don't like what's happening here. I think I should flunk it now, because if I don't, it's going to be too big if they draw a card and just don't play anything. Okay. Study break. Ooh, not what I wanted to see. Okay. Interesting. Whew. Okay, so this is proving to be a hard-fought game. They've just got all the answers. But that's exciting. Poet Quill is a beating. Okay, I think I'm willing to trade iTwitch. Because I just want to get rid of their creatures so that they can't equip the Poet's Quill. Now, for the same reason, I think they're not wanting to trade, but what they don't know is that I will have a large reach creature. Unless they murder it, which they probably will. I bet they have Fracture right here to destroy my artifact. Or, I guess, another Mana Tithe? Okay. I would like to be able to fly. So I'll take an Inkling Summoning. I mean, I guess they can just reduce it to memory, and then I can't block. But I still have a 3/2. Okay, they're going to take it a little slow. Play the Inkling Summoning, so I have a lot of blockers. I actually would like to attack with the Spectre, because I'm not going to block with it. If they want to trade, is that okay? I think so. I would rather not trade, but I don't think that they will. Okay, I'm proven wrong. But also, now they don't have any flying, which means that my Inkling can start hitting them. What do I put back into my deck? Probably the Spectre. But removal spells are not bad either. Okay, they gotta make a decision. I would like for them to try and do something with their graveyard, and I can foil it with my Archivist, but that seems unlikely. Sure. I think I would like to put my Spectre back in my deck. Actually, I'm going to not attack, because they could reduce my Archivist to memory, and then I wouldn't have any good blocks on the Dusk Mage. As is, a double block's not great, but it's better than nothing. They have all the answers, man. Look at this removal suite. Well, now I don't want to block. I mean, I'd like to be able to, but you're just not giving me... Okay, okay. That's more than enough of that. Thank you, sir. All right. We'll just pretend like we have a couple of helpful spells in hand. Maybe that'll make him think twice. Probably not. Yeah, your apprentice should be afraid. I would have blocked that thing in no time flat. There we go. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's a start. At least it's not more land. I guess I should start playing this land in case I do draw my other Spectre. 7, 8. I guess we need 10 to play and activate on the same turn. Well. Ooh, scrying to the top. I do not care for that. They're probably okay with double trading. Either that or they drew something, but you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. I have to try and stop them. Well, that's not exactly what I was looking for. I guess it stems their ground attack. They should maybe attack with the apprentice too before it becomes obsolete. But I guess my laureate's not real good because it is not big enough to block. Okay. Command. I think command could help me win this game. I think. I could get back and I twitch and force them to sacrifice a creature. But of course they're scrying every turn and I am not, so I think this game is probably out of our reach. But what can you do? It's definitely going to cause a problem. Well, I am obligated to block as much as possible. Now, Silverquill command. I guess that lets me survive for one more turn. Not what I was looking for. But Silverquill command, though, if they don't draw a creature, I can murder them. Actually, let's just go to 1. I like going to 1. Okay. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but, you know. It's fine. It's fine. Let me guess. Scry to the top. Oh, okay. Well. I guess I'm not a prophet. There it is. Okay, this is now going to be difficult. Okay, well, that's another land. Whew. Man, we started, and that was the hand that I was most excited about of any that I've gotten so far. But just the turn 1, they had Mana Tithe. Okay, it's fine. We are still 6-1, so we just have to get one of the next 2 games. Yeah, we can do that. We'll get there eventually, I promise. Just, you know, there we go. We are playing Torque O Orc. I don't know what that means. It's possible last game we should not have traded off our Spectre. I definitely didn't want to, but I did feel like if I could just try and keep them from having any creatures, we would have been in a better spot. And so I thought that they wouldn't trade for that reason, but well. Right, Pilgrim is the perfect blocker for eager first year. Until now. Whatever. Show me what you got. on, let's do this. It's not +3/+1 in trample? That one costs 3. Let's make your mark. Okay. See, I'm telling you, it's a good card. This is a 1-mana 3/1. Or 3/2. Okay. Guess I could play Laureate with Make Your Mark. It's intriguing. I do kind of want to protect my Mage Hunter, so I could play off curve to keep up Make Your Mark. Seems okay. If I have to take a hit from the Spirit, that's probably worth it. Okay, first day of class. I assume they're playing a creature afterward. Yeah, that's right, you better be scared. I don't think I want to make this trade. It's a really awkward way to play first day of class. Okay. Yep, keeping up planes. Do I attack? Yes? I mean, it means that they could use the Spirit to jump their other Spirit, but that would cost their whole turn to get in 3 extra damage. I can live with that. Yes. Okay. Interesting. So I could play Archivist. I wouldn't be able to keep up Make Your Mark, but that's probably fine. I guess I could attack with Mage Hunter, and if they double block, I'm probably okay with that. Yeah, and then I drop Cogwork Archivist. There we go. With Mage Hunter, you definitely want to pressure their life total as much as possible to give them as little wiggle room to cast spells as you can, since that's what the whole set is about. Oh boy, Retriever Phoenix. This is a pretty sweet card. I haven't been able to play with or even against it so far, but okay, Intro to Annihilation. So next turn they will probably be murdering my Hunter or Archivist. It exiles, so Make Your Mark is not going to do much. It's fine. Flunk is killing a 2 toughness creature right now, which means if they go to like double block Mage Hunter, I can flunk something. And then I keep back my creatures that can block flyers. If they block with several creatures, that's more of a problem, but that just means that they're going to lose multiple creatures, even if I lose my Hunter. You fail. Get out of my school. Alright, and we get to keep up Make Your Mark. And we got both our laureates out at once, which I guess isn't super good if I don't have other flyers that are dying, but still. Oh boy. Blade Historian is quite the card. Fortunately, I think I'm in a pretty good position to fight against it. I think they forget one crucial aspect of my board. Just that Cogwork Archivist has reach. Okay. I can tap down those two and deal 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. 12 with Maker Mark. I should probably do that. You could deal 1, 2, 3 times 2 is 6 on the backswing. But I can also play a blocker off of my learn. So actually, this would be an ideal place to play 2 blockers. Hey, Pest Summoning, you were finally useful. Sweet. So we went 7-1 with a really mediocre Silverquill deck. Yes, we had Silverquill Command, which is pretty decent, but it's not a bomb. We really just played decent creatures and didn't even have that much removal. I am stunned that we got the 7 wins here. So anyhow, thank you for watching. This has been a Strixhaven draft on Arena. I'm really enjoying the format, and I will talk to you soon.